Loading snacks.
What's good, Loading Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes is here. Got the homie Sin. I got the homie Gage. And it is time for another episode of Boiler Boys.
Boiler Boys.
Ooh, that was, my man got into it on that one.
He was feeling it.
Oh, man. So we are continuing our journey, Ahsoka, with episode 7, titled Dreams in Madness. Gentlemen, are we ready to have a little discussion about this episode?
Yep.
Think so.
I dig it. So, as usual, let's go around the room. Let's find out how we're all feeling about the episode as of a whole right now. Gage, where are you at right now?
7.5.
Cool. Sin?
I'm at a smooth 7.
I will join you at that at being a 7. I think this was maybe the word to use was a safe episode. I didn't think anything was necessarily bad with the episode, but maybe it just didn't do as much. Like I know we're working against time, trying to fend off some. We'll get into it. Fend off our. What do we call our stormtroopers? What are these stormtroopers called again? I forget. They got a name, or did they get a name? I don't remember.
Death troopers.
Death troopers.
That's what I was thinking, but I thought those were the ones in black. So.
They're not. They're not death
it.
troopers. They just, I don't know, man. They stormtroopers.
But so we're all sitting in like about the same place. Like Sin, why are you at your 7?
Ezra and his airbending made me mad. And with this being the second to last episode, a lot of the conversations I think we were looking for, we didn't necessarily get in this episode. Like, Sabine is still not being truthful with Ezra of how she got there or how bad the situation is. She's still kind of brushing it to the side. I'm like, we don't have that much longer left. Like, let's get to it. We got one episode after this, and certain conversations were happening. It was mostly, for the most part, an action-packed episode, which I wasn't mad at, but some of those things I was looking for, I didn't get from this episode.
Dig it, Gage. You're at your 7.5. Why are we there with you?
Because right now, the last couple of episodes have been like working to make me hate Sabine. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate her right now. I don't like her. I don't like her as a character. Like, I think her actions and her behavior are unforgivable. Like, I just think that, like, this is a war-tested individual. Like, I know that there's a lot of people who are watching this who never watch Rebels, who just don't like know. But like, shawty, you've been to war, bro. Like, you know, like, you're an adult. So open your mouth and tell this man what's going on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I don't like the way that she is. I don't like the way she's being written. I don't like the way she is, like, sidestepping, answering questions, not being direct about, you know what I mean, what's going on and what she's saying. And it's like, it all has to come to a head at some point, Slim. Like, you just can't, like, I don't know, like, listening to her have a conversation with Ezra as they coast up the, you know, it's just like, he's just asking her questions and trying to be, you know, hey, what's up, what's going on? Like, I'm going home, I'm, you know, whatever.
I missed y'all, and just...
and I just feel like she's like right now, she's like literally the most selfish person in the entire universe. And it's like, she's not even a bad guy, quote unquote. You know what I mean? It's just like, everything is about her. It's about her. Well, I just wanted to see Ezra. I just want to get back. Like, you, again, like we talked about before, but it's like, you put the whole galaxy at risk so that you could get this dude. So I don't even know if it was to get him, but it was certainly to see him.
Right.
You have no plan, no thought about how you're going to get him back. You're not even trying to get him back. You're not telling him, hey, listen, here's the deal. I stowed away on the ship. Ahsoka got killed. She got thrown off the side of a thing. You know what I mean? As far as I know, she's dead. I'm here. I came. Thrawn let me come find you. You know, I don't know if I should trust him. Like, just none of the things that, like, are the things that again, this is a person who has seen war,
Mhm.
who is familiar with Thrawn and what Thrawn does and his kind of tactics,
Mhm.
who has put everybody else in the galaxy at risk because she has helped pave a way for him to get back to you know what I mean, to their galaxy, and is, I feel like, very nonchalant and withholding, if not lying, about what's going on. And it's like, you haven't seen this dude in so long, and you went through all this effort to get to him, and I also still feel like it's still way too nonchalant. Like, if this person meant that much to you, if this person was that big of a deal to you, it should be, yeah, we got to find a way to get you home. I know I just got here, but we got to find a way to stop Thrawn. Like, I'm looking for that, and I'm not seeing it or feeling it. And every time she opens her mouth now, I'm angry at her. And I'm like, I literally said out loud, I do not like her. And I've never felt that way about this character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's like no acknowledgement even in the episode, even after they met up with Ahsoka, they finally got back. Like, y'all not gonna say nothing about what y'all like what literally just happened to y'all? Like, nobody's gonna say nothing about it in this moment. And no, we have to maybe wait till next episode.
Yeah, it's like I can appreciate to some extent the idea of them trying to allow Sabine and Ezra to have the very familiar banter that they're used to having. They're, wrecking ships and jumping and flying on the dishes and, doing and kind of throwing one-liners and stuff like that at each other. Like, I can appreciate that. That's cool, right? We're about to fight. Here, take your lightsaber. Nah, I don't want it. I gave it to you. Nah, stop playing. Take your lightsaber. Nah, it's yours now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that to an extent. It's not necessarily that for me, because I understand that is the actual nature of their relationship, and I can certainly understand, like, having a friend who you don't see for a long time, and then when you see each other, you pick right back up, like you know what I'm saying, like you never left off. However, there are some circumstances that are current that I just feel like to me, there's no sense of urgency. And there should absolutely be a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like she's just like, well, I'm here. I found you. Like her plan is, well, I was just going to come live here with you. I don't really care about nothing else or what's going on.
Because there's no way back as far as she knows.
Bro, she could have straight said that to him. Like, listen, we're stuck. I'm here.
Which is cool.
I'm here.
But
got here one-way trip.
At the same time, for me, just tell that man you love him. And I just wanted to see you and be with you, and we not going back, we not going nowhere, or whatever.
Stop.
But the fact that also doesn't seem to even be close to being a thing. There is no there's no longing looks in each other's eyes, or kind of like, I miss you, like, man, you know what I mean? Like, we could have had a thing or whatever. Like, she's older than him. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of a kid to her, or was, and I don't know, man. Like, I don't see it, and it's bothersome for me.
I can understand that.
What they have done with this character, and that, I think, is the driving force for me in keeping the. I mean, I have issues with the force kicks, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, but it is what it is. I'm not, again, I'm pressed over my battle tactics and my fight choreography. Like, I'm pressed about it, but whatever.
Hey, listen, I was expecting my man to pop up when the Sabine initially said, here's the lightsaber, give it to him, giving it back to him. I'm thinking, oh, my man about to cut loose. But when he said, nah, I gave it to you, it's yours. So I'm like, oh, my man is really about to go out here and have the whole force fight of his life.
Dog, this man said the force is my ally. If you don't shove all of these dudes away at one time,
he did that first little wind push. I just put my head down in shame, like, oh.
Yeah, I was expecting to go out there.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There is there is supposed to be an extreme control over the force, or an amount of force for someone to be able to use to be able to stop a lightsaber. And to have that effect show up on the lightsabers. Like that's not supposed to be. That ain't no slight. Like that's not something slight. That's supposed to be a big deal. And he did it, and it almost felt in the moment like he was toying with Shin. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not really taking any of it all that seriously either. But at some point, I do feel like it should kick in. Like, why are there people with lightsabers here coming after you? Because they not after me. Because I don't know none of this. And you put my whole little tribe in danger. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there are these things where, like,
questions that aren't being asked. And it's right there in front of your face.
You need to be hot right now and be angry. Like, it's cool, I see you. But you brought that thing with you. And so since you brought that thing, you need to explain some, you know what I mean? Like,
why is that thing here?
Yeah, you told me it seemed like things were the Empire was gone. Like Thrawn was there with you, so everything should have been better. Like, but clearly this lightsaber wielding chick right here is telling me that the things aren't looking so good right now.
I had to roll my eyes sometimes.
I understand.
And again, say out loud, like, I don't like this show. I don't like Sabine. And I did not dislike her when the show started, because I felt like her actions and her discourse and some of her anger and kind of being put off made sense. I don't feel like her actions currently make any sense at all. And I'm not sure they can wrap it up in a way that's going to be satisfactory for me. So I need, like, for real, I need somebody to cuss her out when the next episode starts for me to feel like,
who's going to be the one to cuss her out?
Nobody. And that's
nobody.
Because it would be Chopper. Because Chopper be speaking his mind.
He was in that hearing about to go off.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I deciphered what he said. He said, "Slim, I'll you up." That's what he said. When my man was like, "Can't just take the word of some droid." Hey man, what
Slim Apple.
Hey, his head was bobbing.
I come across this death so fast.
Say that again.
My man had to turn around and be like, "Nah, Chopper, chill. It's cool." Like, Chopper gangster, bro. Somebody had to tell Chopper, like, his name Chopper. He got the Chopper chicken. He, you know what I'm saying? He be chopping it up. Like, he straight up is like, somebody had to tell him, like, hey, nah, be cool. It's cool.
I'll add this whole thing out.
So, exactly.
Man, listen, somebody, he would too. He would. Chopper
would put Sabine in her place. He would have shown up and been like, hey, nah, dog, she tripping. Hey, Thrawn coming.
ABC.
You mean everything okay?
He be in everybody. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff. There are things I like about the episode. So I don't want to just dwell on that thing and make it seem like I didn't like the episode, because as a whole, I like the episode. But I don't like her right now. And I don't know that they can fix that for me. And I don't know, the three of them are back and I ain't seen Zeb. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still baffled, like, how we have not.
Yeah, with those secret missions that, you know, that she was running, I was like, maybe, you know, he would show up at some point, but maybe not yet.
And he got one episode.
They said he training recruits or whatever. Training. Anyway, that's why I'm at a 7.5.
I gotcha.
And it might get worse.
I agree with y'all.
I doubt it get better
on both fronts of that, but we can shift gears. Good segue. Talking about Chopper, going back to the beginning of the episode, and we find ourselves with Hera standing in front of the council. Mon Mothma and her whole, I'm saying cronies, because I don't trust none of them that's up there.
Well, cronies means friends, so they would be her friends. I don't know if cronies is the right word for that then.
But you understood where I was going with that, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you it was wrong.
Good. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Okay.
But obviously we knew at some point we were going to have to get back to find out what Hera was going to end up having to face after not listening and going off to try to help Ahsoka with her mission. And boy, you know, they were straight questioning her and they were digging in.
My man was.
It was like,
I don't know about they.
Yeah, Slim was.
him. And she's trying to, just be straight open. Like, listen, this threat is here. This threat is imminent. And we should be trying to get in front of this before it gets worse than what it already is. And he is just up there just giving her the words that, listen, we need to protect what's here, what we can see in front of us. This new republic, this is where we need to put our focus at, versus trying to put us all on some wild goose chase with Thrawn, who's dead. But nah, you just want to go try to find your little friend Ezra, and just going and just grilling. It was getting to the point, recommended that we strip her of her being the general. We're gonna strip her powers. She's not gonna be able to do anything. Now, I don't know about y'all, did not see who ended up being the savior for Hera in this conversation showing up at all. C-3PO. As soon as the door opened, you just heard his voice. I was like, oh, makes sense. Leia sends him. And it's like, Leia was like, or in the message that was sent via 3PO, that she approved said mission for Hera to go off and try to help out Ahsoka on that. I was like, that was the clutchest moments that 3PO showed up to save Hera's skin. Because otherwise, she literally was about to get stripped of her rank. It was just about to be a normal person on Coruscant at this point.
Dude that was grilling her, he's Imperial. Yeah, y'all agree?
Oh, he's Imperial. He's Imperial scum.
I think so. He's in their pocket.
If he's not Imperial, he's
in their pocket.
He's at least maybe paid by the Imperial remnants. But yeah,
he's a hater at least, bro. I don't. I wonder about it, but he
just a certified
hater. If I had to wager, I know. I tell you what, I know if I'm on the council, I'm launching an investigation into that dude's everything. Everything.
Facts.
I'm all in Slim business. I got somebody tailing Slim, following him. Where's he going? Who's he talking to? I'm in Slim's business. I got droids all around him because he clearly don't like droids, and I understand. We had a war. You know what I'm saying, with droids. He kind of sitting where Mando is. Mando just kicking droids in the shins while they trying to carry boxes. So, like, I get it. There's people out there who don't like droids. I can understand that part of it a little more than the rest of the pushback. And I can also understand the idea of, like, somebody has to pretend to be the person that is level-headed. We're not just going to be spending this money and sending ships out here on wild goose chases when we don't have anything, no evidence in any way, shape, or form to back anything up. And you kind of can't fault him for that. We want to fault him because it's easy for us as the viewer, looking at all the things that we know, to go, oh, Slim's Imperial. Like, he could die in the next episode. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't feel any less strongly about him than I feel about Sabine currently. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I don't have any information to show that Thrawn is here, and she out there with all the information that Thrawn is here and coming back, and ain't saying nothing. So, same joint. You know what I mean? So, like, and again, in a way, like, you can't really fault him. But then when the message comes through, and Leia's like saying that she's upset because she can't believe that they would make a decision like that without talking to her when she's the person in charge.
A real boss.
Y'all have to talk to me before y'all make a decision. I can make a decision and don't say nothing to nobody. Okay, Leia.
Everything run past me.
Oh, she flexed the power.
Here's what I'll say.
You did.
I don't. So, in some of the in stories that are beyond outside of this, that are canon to Star Wars, Leia, in the position that she's in now, loses that position and has a lot of opposition against her because word gets out that Vader's her father. And so when that happens, that's in one of the novels. When that happens, she loses that power, and that's basically how she ends up like running the new rebels.
Yeah.
Right? Because basically somebody from the inside kind of outs that information. It would not surprise me if, based on where we are right now and what Thrawn knows, that if Thrawn comes back, he's the one responsible for making sure that people know, because he knows. Like, I don't know for sure that he knows the parentage portion between Leia and Vader, but he knows Anakin.
Yeah.
And like, the only thing that could save her is the fact that she has a different last name. That she's Organa and she's not Skywalker. But
I would love to see that happen in live action.
Right. The way that he's thorough, though, about everything, like how he was in last episode, like, I want to know who her master is. I want to know, like, and when he finds that out and he's like, hold tight.
Come again?
Her master was Anakin Skywalker. Hey, go ahead, take this tablet real quick.
Yep, I got all the information I need.
Yeah, if anything, fly in here. Bust it down.
Bust it, destroy it. Get rid of it.
You know, like, so again, like, it's alluded to, but not necessarily said prior to now, that Thrawn is aware that Anakin became Vader, that they're the same person. So if anybody could put it together,
it would be him.
I would say he's the one. Or it's your man who's sitting there on the court trying to stop all this from happening because he the inside, and now he got beef directly with her for overranking him in the middle of the joint and making him look dumb because he looked real dumb. And it happened by a droid, and that hurt even more.
That one, that dug even deeper.
So he's steaming, and now he got it out for him. And so maybe it's him. You know what I'm saying? But
got one episode left.
I actually had a kind of a high appreciation for those moments in the court and just kind of seeing what Hera is having to do / deal with while they're off. Again, and she don't really know. Right. She has no idea what's happening and she don't know where they went. Lost you. You don't have any audio, Sam.
Okay, yeah, like she's ride or die with her dogs, with her rebels. You know what I mean? Like they say Thrawn's coming, he's coming. I'm just trying to get ready for when he get here. Like I trust and believe in what they say.
All right, I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah,
straight up.
Dig it. And I mean, at the end of all that, once court was adjourned, since the message from Leia kind of smoothed things over, Mon Mothma, you know, just talks to Hera, just straight up asking, you know, how bad is this threat? Like she's just trying to gauge it right now, and it's like, yeah, this threat is serious, and this is as real can get right now. And I think this is where Mon Mothma is just kind of like, all right, we're starting to get to that point where we're gonna have to do what we have to do to potentially stop this threat from happening. But
she tried to burn her down though real quick. Like, I know Leia did not actually approve that mission, and she was like, "Nah, yeah, she did."
After the fact,
like, oh, nah, yeah, she did.
Doesn't matter. She did. That's all that matters.
My mom was like, "Man, don't play with me, son." I know what I'm talking
stupid.
About. Yeah.
But that
neither did anybody else in that joint. Everybody in there knew that wasn't what happened. But what you gonna do?
You gonna question her about it?
Got 3PO over. It's like, listen, I know some Jedi. Don't come over here and call me a liar. But shifting gears, we jump back over to where Ahsoka and Hu Yang are still making their way through the galaxy to their destination. We find Ahsoka on the ship, training, looking at some of her old Anakin holograms from the Clone War days, from some training programs, which I think was a pretty clean. I wasn't really expecting to see Anakin again. Maybe I know we talked about maybe like the Force Ghost or something like, but I really wasn't expecting to see him in any shape or form at that point. So I thought that was a little cool thing to let us see kind of some of the things that he was training and what he was doing during the Clone Wars for her, and her kind of just going through the steps of certain things as he's talking to her, kind of reinforcing her and her abilities to what she can do. I thought that was a real cool moment because outside of the Clone Wars, obviously we haven't really seen any other type of training or anything come from Anakin to Ahsoka. So for her to just kind of go back through these, and like she went through all of, I guess, the ones that she had that were available to her. I thought that was a pretty.
I think she said how many was, like 10 of them he made or something like that, and she was the last one.
She said he made 20 or more.
20 more. Okay.
So I thought that was a pretty clean way to at least give us another kind of interaction between the two of them on this. So I thought that was done pretty well. But after that, of course, finally start to get to their destination. Hu Yang, lets her know while they're in the cockpit. The Purrgil starts slowing down, but at the same time, start hearing sound. Never mind, they're still in the mouth of the space whale, so they really can't see what's going on. But you do start hearing like minor explosions, or initially what you think are like just minor explosions. So I'm like, oh, they already out here like Thrawn told them, whatever comes through there,
Thrawn is keeping his word true.
Put it down. And once they get there and they're able to fly out, we find out he done left a whole minefield for them. Now, granted, I guess you could only particularly come from one direction since they knew where they were coming from, because that minefield was ridiculously big. So for a ship the size of Ahsoka, well, the space whales, let's say, there was no way they were dodging any of those. So as they were coming through, they were hitting everything square on. So eventually,
they were actually also like the mines were like activating and then like being pulled towards them. They were like
magnetized to them somehow.
I was gonna say you can't really call them magnetic because they were going towards the whales, but like something,
it was pulling it too. So the whales were just getting bombarded. So once Ahsoka took off, all the whales started going into hyperspace and just getting low. And so when they started going into hyper, I was like, that's all right. And I don't know if they're gonna come back for us. That was my thought. But once all of them start taking off, and it's just Ahsoka, obviously she's trying to move and bob and weave through the minefield. We have some of the ships that start to come after her, and the only thing she was like, let's just go deeper into which was the boneyard, graveyard, whatever you want to call it. And that was as usual, if you're not the main character and you're flying through my debris field or whatever, you're crashing into something. So of course some of them didn't make it trying to get through there, but being pretty evasive when it came time for it. Eventually they get to a point where they find a nice quiet spot, sit the ship down, turn all the power off, so hopefully they can't be tracked, they can't be detected while they're in the graveyard in there for it. And we kind of have a jumping back and forth first. And we talked about Ezra and Sabine, of course, they're having conversations on the planet while this is going through. Sabine is just not being forthcoming about what is going on and how things are. At that point, like, that'd have been the perfect opportunity to just go ahead and say, listen, we're probably stuck here because one, Ahsoka has no idea where I'm at, but all that information that she should have probably went ahead and relayed at that point in time, it did not happen. While they're having their conversation with I don't know what the little creatures are called, they're riding their little turtle,
the Noti. N-O-T-I, Noti.
Riding through, like, the things are slow. I obviously they're just made for transport. They're not made for, well, I guess they kind of are made for battle. Good shield at least.
High defense.
They at least got that down pat. But Ahsoka's trying to figure another way out to try to find Sabine at this point, because I mean, obviously it's a whole planet, and times on like there's just no way to cover a whole planet. So she does one of her, I don't know if you want to necessarily call it a Jedi trick, but to me this shows like the connection between Sabine and Ahsoka. Sabine, Ahsoka does the typical, the Jedi closing the eyes meditation type of thing, I guess you could say, where she's calling out to Sabine. And it was a point I was like, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe Sabine doesn't have necessarily that focus, but she did hear Ahsoka call out to her. And in doing so, immediately Ahsoka came to and was like, I know where she's at. But ends up causing an issue for them because the Night Sisters, of course, they're also using dark side of the Force, using dark magic of the Force, whatever you want to call it. And of course, in her trying to do this, they're able to locate specifically where Ahsoka is hiding in the graveyard. And once they find that, it's just rain fire. Just all artillery just shoot at that spot. And they had to get low. They did manage to get low. They did escape and make it to the planet's surface, of course, where we find Sabine and Ezra now having to fight off the locals. I don't know what the mercenaries. Sure. No, not even the Death Troopers.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had
not even the Death Troopers just yet. Those mercenaries, whatever they want to call them, out there.
Yeah. I don't know, the samurai.
The samurai.
They had on samurai gear, bro.
I guess you could say that pretty was samurai. That was very samurai.
They had on samurai gear, bro. Like they pauldrons were that was samurai gear. I don't know.
But at that point, Baylan gives instructions to Shin to just, go ahead and take. This is kind of where our paths diverge from one another. It's like you have what it is that you're gonna have to do. We kind of walk different paths currently right now. So you know what? You go ahead, take that on. I'm just gonna stay here because right where I'm at right now, this is where my path is. And I was like, okay, this is the big battle between him and Ahsoka are going to finish from when they was on the planet. Really wasn't a full fight. Ahsoka knew what she needed to do when she got there. Got the quick distraction from Hu Yang in the ship. Like, hey, listen. When she said, I'm gonna jump off the ship to get to where he was, and Hu Yang was like, not this again, or we gotta do this again. Like, I was like, I don't want no parts of this. She was like, don't miss. Like, this is
the ramp slide.
But
yeah, he was on target.
Yeah, she said he remember what happened last time. She was like, yeah, when you got the timing wrong. Yeah.
You got it right this time though.
And because they're still being chased by a couple of those ships. But Hu Yang flying the ship, solid pilot.
He had them on his tail for a while though, if you think about it.
Listen, he had them on his tail that whole entire time.
Like, you ain't lose these dudes yet, bro.
And I'm just well, Sabine's the one, I guess, that they don't have the gun is back there, but I guess Ahsoka don't know how to use the guns. I don't know. I feel like one of the two of them should have been on the guns.
Trying to get off and go meet with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was trying to go meet with Sabine. She wasn't.
Yeah, she was on
trying to be in that thing.
But Hu Yang did provide a good distraction to being able to come back, start shooting between her and Baylan to give her ample enough time to steal his ride, his wolf creature, whatever those things are that they're riding on, but enough time to steal Baylan's, and then of course go ahead off to try to get to Sabine and Ezra at that point. And it seems like, it didn't faze him at all.
Yeah. Smirked it off.
Sam, how you feel about that fight?
Better than the last altercation between them, but not. Still struggles to just give it that push.
In the last one, she only used one lightsaber.
Right.
And this one, she take two out all break, which is cool because that's what she was practicing on the ship. Right. She was going back to practicing those forms. And if you think about it, one of the last things that Anakin said to her in that little hologram she was watching was like, practice your forms, practice them all the time. Well, at least practice them more than I did.
Yeah.
Right. And if you remember, my man tried to fight Dooku with two joints and lost a hand.
Yep.
And lost a hand. My man didn't practice
no forms.
My man didn't practice his forms.
So he had to reiterate that to her. Like, please don't do what I did.
Practice these joints more than me. You know what I'm saying? So when she goes to meet him this time and she takes both out, I'm like, it's going down.
This is the one.
Because she took both joints out. She ready. The wind blowing. I'm like, oh, Samurai Showdown. We about to have it. It's going down. And then they fight, and it's like,
it's fundamentals.
It's super fundamentals.
She's doing fundamentals with the twos, and he's got the one doing.
And then he was like, you can't beat me. But shut up, dog. Hold on. Who you think you talking to? And then Huyen comes by with the ship and does the shooting, and she's like, maybe I don't have to. And look, that's cool. She got the whole, like, I gotta hurry up. Right. Remember, he said to Shin that impatience will be like your undoing or whatever. So this whole thing from that point on is all about time. It's all about time. Like, Thrawn's whole thing is, I'm just trying to distract them to keep things off while I get the stuff done that I need to do.
I like them showing like his like how far ahead of the game that he is with stuff like that. Like how he broke all that down. Like, you see all this? Like, we're done packing up now. Like, there's no way they can get.
Nah, I mean, for real, yes, but he lost. Like, he would have loved to have like actually won that joint. I just, for real, I don't even think he's that like that. I just feel like he puts enough pieces in play that, like, if this thing doesn't work out, he has this other thing. But like
multiple players kind of running at the same time.
Because when he's talking to Morgan like, what you talking about, dog? We losing. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then he's like, not
calculated.
Really. Because what I have done is make a distraction. You lying, dog. You really wanted to whoop them, Slim. Don't play with me. You know, yes, you got the joint packed and y'all, you know, it's packed.
Y'all ready to leave, yeah.
Look, I know everybody's like, Thrawn is like this master, you know, whatever, and that's cool. But for real, like, in that moment, I'm like, hey, Slim just be lying. Like, he just, you know what I mean? He just making up stuff. He just try to make it seem like he ain't lose. If they had managed to like outmaneuver Ezra and Ahsoka hadn't, like, if they had actually managed to shoot Ahsoka down and all the things that he planned to do, the mines didn't work. Having him track Ahsoka didn't work. Having Balin there, you know, that didn't work. Slim's not that dope, dog. Like, let's not, like, for real. I know he's blue and he got red eyes, dog, and he talks real slow and he's methodical and, like, he wants to know everything about you. But hold on a second, dog, because I'm that dude. I'll call you out, Slim. I would have been in that joint like, nah, Slim, you really wanted to get them, dog. That joint didn't work. And that, because Morgan was like,
I picture B as a hologram right now. like communicating with him from a starship, and we just in the background laughing like, hey, he giving to the business.
Yeah, like, Morgan, like, called him out, and then he, like, made her feel stupid, because he was like, actually, see, while they have become distracted, we have been able to do this, and our prime objective is to get away. Sure it is. Of course it is.
And he was talking about the ship being loaded, and I was like, nah, you still got like a whole. I was like, you had a whole.
I know a loading bar, dog. We're loading snacks. I know that when I see one.
He's at like 80%. 82%.
I thought the joint was going to do like a quick jump up, like they was at the end, but nah, you got a little ways to go there, my friend.
Exactly, bro. He's swelling. He's swelling. He like brushed himself off and turned around and walked away from Morgan and tried to make her feel stupid, and then he walked away before she could be like, nah, but dog, but it didn't really work. Like, he, you know what I'm saying? He tried to walk away. Like, I'm calling shenanigans on Thrawn.
We gotta do one of the videos where we just like put you in there, like you just in there like a TikTok video, and just keep pausing him. Nah, bro, like, look, Look at this right here. We got time.
Because I keep it a buck. I don't bang with Morgan. But in that moment, she was absolutely right. She's like, we lost. Like, we out. It didn't work. And he's like, actually, shut up, dog. Shut up. No. If he'd have ate it and been like, that didn't work out, still, we're loaded up, and our main thing is we need to leave. Okay, right. Cool. But don't try to act like that was part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. You weren't trying to distract them or hold them off or keep them off for a little while you got loaded, bro. That's not what you were doing. Because for real, you could have kept them soldiers on the ship with you, and you'd have had more people loading. You'd be loaded up. You'd be loaded up already. You sent people to go get them. You ain't had to do that. Y'all could already be gone. Slim, I would have called you out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, right now, Thrawn not looking so dope to me. He might have lost a step or two while he's been away.
Been away in his
exile.
With no tactics to pull off or whatever. I don't know.
It's one thing to run simulations, right now, but when it's in real time and things can, not go according
to failing at this real time right now.
Right.
Like for real, like put it into perspective. Obviously, Ezra has had to deal with them, with these troopers and whatever. They've been looking for him. Again, this dude is supposed to be the master tactician. He can't catch Ezra. It's been 10 years, bruh. That's one man out that joint by himself with some turtles.
No lightsaber.
And they're not even Ninja Turtles. You can't catch this dude.
He got his airbending.
Listen, we're going to give Sabine Wren his last known whereabouts. And she found this dude in like 6 hours. 6 hours. With hold on. With the wolf dogs that Thrawn gave, the wolf dogs Thrawn gave her,
sniffed them out.
Knew Ezra sent and found Slim. Found the turtles that found Slim. And you can't track this man down, but you the master tactician? Hold tight. I'm calling shenanigans on Thrawn, bro.
Score levels going down a little bit.
You understand me? Like, I'm calling shenanigans, bro. Like, come on, bro. Don't play with me. Like, she's fluke. She's fluke with the Force. She's fluke with the skills. She's fluke as a Mandalorian in this entire show. So, like, all of whatever Sabine was before this series started, all that's out the window. All the tactics, all the things she's been through,
right.
That's all out the window. She know how to track a dude, though. Found him.
But listen,
not like she was using the Force to find Ezra. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was like, nah, she is a Jedi. He's whatever. They'll be drawn to each other or something. That's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? Then he sends 2 other Jedi to follow her. They couldn't track Ezra. They had to track her. Thrawn, you kind of fluke, bruh. Give me that skin in them eyes back, bro. Nobody's scared of you.
Take that whole, give me
your
that badge.
Gel out your head.
Take those badges or whatever you got off, cause
exactly, bro. I'm like, you might be kind of smart, but you can't fight. What's up? Like, square up, bro. Like, you.
Oh, the hand, listen, he done.
Morgan Ellsworth could probably, she could put a spell on Slim and call it a day.
Probably, yeah, easily.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just not. Right now, they not doing enough for me to feel like
a threat. The threat.
I'm not saying. Listen, I can understand the idea of the threat that if this dude who's been gone for this long survived and he shows back up in the galaxy, and anybody who's even remotely feeling something for the Empire finds out Slim is back, it's on and popping. They're gonna be like, what? We here. What's up? You can't stop us. However, on this planet, in this galaxy, this dude is old and slow and frustrated with the actions of one man. And he looked dumb in front of Morgan. That's where I'm at. And I would love to know what kind of shenanigans he has going on, what satellites he got in the sky, how my man can oversee the entire, like, dog, you can't track Ezra, but you have a chessboard where you can see his blue dot, her blue dot, and Ahsoka.
and explosions going on and stuff.
I'm calling shenanigans, dog. I'm calling it all, bro. I'm calling it all, bro. Get your boy Enoch. Put him. Say, let's go. If we don't leave right now, we're gonna be in trouble. Say that, because that's how I feel about you right now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not. How is this possible? It's cool. You have this technology. It don't look like no technology I've ever seen on a ship like that before. So you built that? Did
maybe
the
that's
sisters
something exclusive for his class, his title.
All right.
Whatever.
Grand Admiral gets the it. Listen, Slim, that means you have a tracker on Ezra. You can see his blue dot.
Somehow, yeah.
Shenanigans.
Go ahead, say it, Joe.
Listen. How about all you had to do was put a tracker on the dog wolf that you gave her? And then be like, oh, there it is. And look, in real talk, they found, listen, he used the magic of the sisters to find Ahsoka in the boneyard in space. You can't find this man, who is also a Jedi, on the planet you've been on for 10 years with the Witch sisters. Double toil and trouble, my guy.
And just drop a bomb on him, and it's done.
And your wolf knows where he is. Your wolf knows where he is. Could track him down. Put a tracker on the wolf, send the joint to go get him. That's it. Found him, and then you send a squadron, blow it all up. Why are we landing? Why are we getting there and we're landing and we're getting out to shoot them? And so why are we doing that? You send an entire squadron.
It's like we play Grand Theft, pull up in the armor whip, but I get out the car. Why you get out the car?
This joint's armored. Shoot out the car.
Because I want to shoot people with different guns.
I'm just saying, dog, look, it was cool to see the same ships that we saw in Rebels. That's cool. Yeah. I understand. You don't want to waste the TIE fighters? Sure. But you just sent a bunch of ships to go find her out in space, blow the whole thing up, shoot every bone in the boneyard, and still missed. You're fluke, bruh. You're fluke. She ain't even sweat. She didn't even sweat. She came down, jumped off a plane, dog. She jumped off a ship, landed, fought a Jedi, lived through the smoke of her own ship, dipped, put a Batman on Slim. This dude is a Jedi. Looked up, turned around, and Ahsoka was like,
and jumped on his wolf dog and rode off.
And took his joint.
He just tried to act cool, take a little breath. I guess I'm just gonna walk off, exit stage left, and just continue.
He would have said that was some BS. That was a bull.
Hey, look, it's flukeness on both sides still, though, regardless.
100%. 100%.
Because Sabine, while they down there fighting, the moment Ezra said, "No, I gave you the lightsaber, it's yours," she doesn't even bother. She puts the joint away and goes and starts going to the Mandalorian side of things.
That's her.
I
her bread
get
and butter.
That's what she's.
Yeah.
I get it, but then it got to a point finally where she's like, you know what? Let me just take the lightsaber out and just start shanking dudes. Like, it was like she shanked the first one. I was like, see how easy that was.
I didn't have a problem with that. It was just,
again, my man's been dealing with them for years by himself. They showed up and surrounded them, and Ezra wasn't even like, oh boy.
Nah, he wasn't worried a little bit.
I better take this lightsaber. He was like, he was like, nah, hide in your little joint. I got this. Don't even worry about it. For real, that's how you feel about the Death Trooper joints. About the
he been whooping them for 10 years.
Whole squadron. It's like 40 for them. And like you so thorough about it and so used to punishing Thrawn's men that he was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need the lightsaber. I ain't had that joint in 10 years. The Force is my ally. Oh, okay. Do they not know that you get down like that? Because
they found out when he got the gun for a second. When he got that gun for a second, started dropping them real quick. I was like, okay.
And none of them dudes was puffing dead people smoke.
Yeah, no, they were out.
No, they weren't.
It's like, oh, y'all real. Y'all live underneath.
Not anymore.
Enoch might be the only that. But look, it looked like Thrawn is loading caskets though. He said from like down in the catacombs, that would assume that it's bodies. And it looks like he's loading caskets. So maybe he's intending to have an undead army.
Yeah.
Of some sort, which would be cool. Still, right now, shenanigans. Like,
Shenanigans
kind of all over the place. Shenanigans everywhere.
I understand.
And I like Shin.
I dig Shin.
She's been growing on me throughout.
And at that moment, like, it looked like they were going to try to, whether it was convince her or do whatever, once the battle was done, and it was just her versus the three of them, kind of like, Ahsoka stepped out. It was like, I can help you. Didn't even bother to try to, like, take a prisoner first or do something. And they just let her take, she just let her take off running. I'm just thinking, like, hopefully that wasn't a bad decision.
Bro, somebody has to die in the next episode. So
I was gonna say,
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Right now, it could be Sabine. She survived it once. She can't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her right now. So like, it could be her.
And of course, after the battle's done, they have their little reunion. And I thought maybe at this point it would have kind of been like, yeah, we're a little stuck at the moment. Like
I said, nobody brings it up.
Nobody's
bringing up the tough subject to talk about.
That probably would have been the perfect opportune moment to say that either we need to hightail it and somehow get on Thrawn's ship for when he gets out of here, or we gotta hope these whales decide to come on and hyperspace on back in.
I would say Ahsoka had a more appropriate reaction to seeing Ezra.
Absolutely.
Sabine did.
Yeah.
Way more an appropriate reaction.
Absolutely. 100%. Like, to be real, she laughed. Like, she chuckled. She was happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's cool.
I was like, okay, that's more like it. That fits.
And I'm okay with her not in the moment being like, hurry up, we gotta leave. We got da. Like, hug the dude. We cool.
Take a second.
We gotta figure this out though, because she hasn't seen Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
So for Ahsoka, it's like, for all intents and purposes, for all she knows, they never found Thrawn. They found Ezra, but they didn't find Thrawn, right? Like, she's being attacked, but for all she knows, that's Morgan. Like, it's not necessarily that it's Thrawn that's doing it. So she doesn't necessarily have that awareness. She doesn't know they're packing and trying to leave the ship. The person who knows that is the jerk who isn't saying anything to Ezra about it, because they could have been already on their way back.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
They look like they go in the complete other direction.
We don't need to talk about this information. It's not important. We'll get to that.
Bing!
Hey, listen. They only got one episode left, so it's like you're either getting stranded.
That joke gonna be like 30 minutes. Like 38 minutes.
And listen, they've been doing decently with. I don't think so. I think they've been doing decently with these runtimes. If this one just decided for whatever reason to drop down to like 30 some minutes, I'm gonna be pissed. After we didn't had.
I don't think there's enough. All right, so let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What is Balin after?
I think more so what you said last episode, something having to do with the Force being there, something like that. I think that's what he's after. That's why he's stepping away from everything. He's where he wants to be. He just has to go and search where it is.
Right. There are all these players. There are all these pieces in play that Thrawn didn't anticipate. Right. Mm-hmm. That are, according to the sisters and the threads of fate and whatever they got going on, aren't supposed to be there. Sabine's not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. Shin's not supposed to be there. Balin not supposed to be there. Balin not being with Shin is not supposed to be a thing that's happening.
That's a lot of Jedis, quote unquote, not supposed to be there.
That's a lot happening, a lot in motion, a lot going on that he don't have no, like, he's got a loss of control. You understand what I'm saying? And so where Shin ends up, I would imagine, is somehow, some way next to Morgan. And Thrawn. Though weak, because she's not. Ahsoka could probably talk her into it if she really had a real moment. Balin is off to go figure out whatever he's after, and whatever that is, whatever power that is, whatever feeling that is, or whatever, I feel like with Ahsoka being there now, they're going to be able to feel it. Or Ezra is aware of it or something like that in some way because he's been there for so long. And that's going to trigger something with them that I feel like is either going to force them to be drawn apart from each other. Right? Like, all right, y'all got to go try to do this thing with Thrawn. We have to go take care of this other thing where Balin is or whatever, because the fact that they're split up has to come to. That's why I feel like it can't be a half an hour. I just feel like there's too much that needs to happen in order for them to wrap it up in a decent way that isn't some sort of a ridiculous cliffhanger. It's just too many loose ends. What's going on with Hera? What's her next move? Is she getting with Zeb? Is she coming back? What's going on with Jason? Are they somehow going to end up in the world between worlds again? Is that what Balin's trying to access? You know what I mean? And do we see Kanan? You know what I'm saying? Do we see his father in some way in the world between worlds or something like that? Is there a Force Ghost version of him that's out there somewhere to be seen? What is actually happening with Sabine? Does she get in tune with her actual Force abilities? Does she, like, there's a lot that needs to be answered for. If it is something about the Force that drew her to make the decision that was, I need to go with them because I need to find Ezra because of whatever this thing is, right? So that's kind of what Hu Yang alluded to. Maybe that was the only decision for her, right? When Ahsoka said, I wasn't able to train her long enough to make the right decision. That's not really a training issue. That's a straight up, hey, everybody might die. You already dealt with Slim before. You want to go back to where we was? You got to shoot the ball. You got to shoot the apple of Eden. Stop the assassins. That's your job. She didn't do it. She left. So when he makes a suggestion, maybe that was the move for her. To me, that's some indication that they're going in some direction of her not understanding it, but in some way the Force drawing her, right? And her connection to the Force being strong enough, either to the Force and or to Ahsoka, that Ahsoka can contact her and figure out exactly where she is. So that's clearly a thing in some manner, right? So she does have a connection to the Force, but it would appear that her connection to the Force is not traditional. And it could be one that nobody who's ever really dealt with the Force before understands. It could be a brand new thing, and we could be branching off into something completely new, which could be cool. Could be really cool.
Agreed.
But they don't have time to do a whole lot.
No, not at all.
No.
They got if they do a half hour,
everything getting left on the floor. Everything's left on the floor at that point.
There's no way.
I dig it.
If I would tell you right now, if I turn on the episode and I look and the runtime is like 32 minutes, I'm turning it off.
Not even gonna buy.
I'm turning it off. I mean, I have to watch it, but I ain't gonna watch it.
But at first, you're gonna turn it off.
Go Steam somewhere and be like, it's not possible. And then I'm gonna have to come back to it. I can't see it. I can't see them being able to wrap it up cleanly in that time frame.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that has been our discussion on episode 7 of Ahsoka. Gentlemen, are we still in the same place with our scores for the episode?
I'm still good at a 7.
I'm still cool.
I'm
in the same place as well too.
Okay.
So like
I just want to double check. Jokes. Last time your score for the episode was originally 8. You came down to a 7 for the last episode, right? All right. This episode and the last episode are in the same place. Okay. Okay. I'm with it.
We only got one more episode left. So far, things have been okay. Like, the show has been pretty solid from start to the end of where we're at right now. And listen, it only takes one episode to just throw everything away. So let's hope that we at least can finish on a high note with Ahsoka. But make sure y'all stay tuned. Same time, same place. For the final episode of Ahsoka,
because it's about to be time for Loki,
and Loki is following right behind. So Spoiler Boys will be continuing. There won't be a stop. So you guys, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, let us know how you guys thought about episode 7. But until next week, for the homie Sim, for the homie Gage, this is Jokes. We'll catch you on the next episode of Spoiler Boys.
Loading snacks.